Hello everyone, I'm Jennifer Sneha, and today we will be continuing our topic management of natural resources in part 2. So, water and coal are exhaustible natural resources. The water energy nexus is becoming one of the great challenges of our generation. Coal continues to be a dominant force in the global energy market. However, it is depleting at a very fast rate. Therefore, finding a right balance between the amount of resources available and their judicious use is an important step in the sustainability of the natural environment. So, the advantages of dam. Dams ensure that the storage of water is available for irrigation. Reservoirs of dams prevents flood by checking the flow of water. Not only that, it provides water for human consumption, industrial use, aquaculture, and navigability, and many more. It generates electricity. The water from the dams is used through a system of canals to irrigate far flung areas. Not only that, it increases the green cover too. There are some disadvantages of dams too, that are building a dam is very expensive, and the government needs to ensure that strict guidelines are followed and a very high standard is maintained. They must operate from many years in order to become profitable enough to compensate for the high building cost. It is very sad, but people residing in villages and towns in the nearby area where there are chances of flooding have to be relocated. They lose their businesses and farms. Sometimes people are removed forcibly to set a hydropower plant, and it poses a serious ethical concern. The building of large dams can cause serious changes to the Earth's surface and lead to geological damage. It can trigger frequent earthquakes. However, modern planning and design of dams have reduced the possibility of occurrence of certain disasters. So, what is water harvesting? Water harvesting is the activity of direct collection of rainwater. The rainwater collected can be stored for direct use or can be recharged into the groundwater. So, rain is the first form of water that we know in the hydrological cycle. Therefore, it is a primary source of water for us. Water pollution or pollution of water. It can be defined as the contamination of water bodies. Water pollution is caused when water bodies such as rivers, lakes, oceans, groundwaters, and aquifers get contaminated with industrial and agricultural effluents. When water gets polluted, it adversely affects all life forms that directly or indirectly depend on this source. So some of the advantages of groundwater are that groundwater does not evaporate. It is helpful in maintaining the water levels of wells. Groundwater provides moisture to large amount of vegetation, which is really helpful. There is relatively few chances of contamination of groundwater by human or by animal waste. Conservation of coal and petroleum. As we already know, coal and petroleum are exhaustible sources of energy. If they are not used judicially, they will not last for more than a few decades. Since they are widely used as sources of energy throughout the world, it is of utmost important to think about the conservation. Conservation is the process of using a resource in a more careful way so that it can be made to last for a longer period of time. We conserve coal and petroleum by switching to alternative or renewable sources of energy, such as hydropower, energy, geothermal energy, tidal energy, and many more. Not only these, alternatives will provide us more environmentally friendly options for sustainable development, but they will also help us in delaying the energy crisis that the world is about to face very shortly. So, what are the some of the methods of conservation of fossil fuels? You see, coal and petroleum, which are also called fossil fuels or non-renewable energy resources. One way of fuel conservation is to avoid their wastage. Switching to alternative sources such as solar energy in the forms of solar heaters, solar cookers, and use of natural gas and wind energy are some ways to reduce their usage. We can also reduce the use of these natural resources by using public transport and carpool. Preference should be given to using renewable natural resources such as the sun and the wind. Windmills use wind energy to produce electricity. The solar energy used to heat water, cook food, and to generate electricity. Water can be conserved by building reservoirs. Rainwater harvesting can be adopted to conserve water. Environmental education plays an important role in creating awareness. Through environmental education, people come to know about their rights and duties towards nature. So, some of the steps of conservation of energy resources that are planting more and more trees, reforestation. It is a process of replanting the area with trees, and afforestation is planting trees in the area where there was previously no vegetation. Following the reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reducing the amount of waste created, recycling by making a new product from the waste, reusing is using items more than once. Use less electrical appliances, using sunlight instead of artificial lights is a big step. So, switching off electricity when not in use and turning off taps to prevent leakage. Usage of conventional sources of energy, examples are sunlight, hydro energy, wind energy, and instead of cars and bikes, a bicycle should be used as it conserves fuel. Carpooling should be made compulsory. It is the sharing of a car instead of the use of different private transport by different people, and people should use more and more public transports. So that's it for management of natural resources. Thank you.